The purpose of this video is to explain the diagram that's in the in your document. It's really hard to see what's going on. So this is the 3D model, and so I'm going to expand it up a little bit. And this is the incomplete 3D model. We'll tour it and find out why it's incomplete. But basically, here's your arm, and I should be able to move the arm up and down. And the arm will go all the way over the top. It will not go through here because it hits all the gears and the motor and stuff. So you got to be careful of that. So there's the arm, and it reaches, it does this rotation. Notice the gears are not rotating because I haven't put the shafts in yet. This is a base, and the base is incredibly incomplete. If I roll over here, I'll find that the base is just nothing. It's just two pieces. There's nothing holding this thing together. So we probably need a piece across here and a piece across here to complete the base. The motor is over in here. This is our core hex motor, and we can tour the motor as we go through. And by the way, the motor is just basically pushed up against this extrusion, right? There's no bracket here, so we need to put the bracket in. The other thing while we're over here is notice that this extrusion is just sitting on top of that extrusion, so there's no brackets holding that together either, so that all those need to be corrected. Let's get into the motion part of it. What I did is notice there's no shafts. Those blue dots or blue dashes are simply just the axes. So I put the axes of this little gear in here along the axis of this motor. So I pick up a little gear, and then the little gear is meshed into a big gear, okay? And the big gear is on the same shaft as another little gear, which should be meshed to this big gear, but this is just sliding up and down. So I'll put it over like this. So now we're meshed in there. And so now we go into that tooth pulley, as we talked about before, a little tooth pulley, and we go up into a big tooth pulley that's up here. Okay, this big tooth pulley, so this big tooth pulley is hooked into a pillow block, and the pillow block is a hex pillow block rather than the pillow block we're using for the bearings in previous episodes. So when the shaft, the non-existent shaft in this case, turns, it causes the arm to rotate. So that's the basic scheme here. And so we can look at this from different perspectives. And so I want to pick something up here. There's this little cube. I'll put the cube up here, and then I can select which face I want to see. So I can go over here and select this face, and then I could turn here and again pick up another face, and I could look at one of the side faces over here, and I could look at that. So basically that's the scheme. Now, since you see the basic theme of a little gear driving a big gear, little gear driving a big gear, little pulley driving a big pulley, we now have a situation where we're reducing the speed of rotation, but we're increasing the torque of rotation. And this is what, if we were just to hook this motor directly to the arm, this arm would move way too fast. It'd be uncontrollable, and also it wouldn't lift much. It may actually not even just lift the arm itself. And so one other thing I'd like to bring up is this piece down here. We've had troubles in the past of making these kinds of connections. This would be the base of the robot down here, and this would be some kind of structure that's on top of the robot. And so we need something that's strong and something that's durable. So what we've done is we've made a special bracket, and let's see if we can find it, and this is called the T bracket. So let me bring it over here, and it's of course going to be hooked to the wrong side. I'll flip this around, and we'll see what the T bracket does. What it does, it's kind of like an L bracket, but it has a lot more structure to it. It's basically two triangles. So there's a triangle on here, and there's a triangle on this side. And all of these screw holes for available screws can be used to strongly connect this base into the tower structure up in here. So we think this is going to give us a lot more capability. This part is a custom-made part, but it's in your parts list or in the parts directory, and it's called bracket TEE. So basically, this is the discussion. This is the design we have. Now, notice what I've done is I built everything off of just the axes, and I pushed them up here. And also, as we saw before, that the axes are just basically placed here just for visualization. And so if I were to move an axis up, I could do that, which of course would cause a problem because this little gear would no longer set here. So there's a lot of design that needs to be done. So I don't feel too badly showing you something like this. Anyhow, so that's a description of something you may want to do, okay, to make this arm. And remember, this arm has to move very slowly. And so look at the size of little gears and big gears and little pulleys and big pulleys and see if you can get something that's going to work. With that, we're done.